situated was traditionally occupied by the Sammamish, the Duwamish, the Snoqualmie, the Suquamish, the Muckleshoot, the Snohomish, the Tulalip, and other Coast Salish peoples since time immemorial.
Really? Have you paid royalties to the Muckleshoot people for building your stupid campus on their land? Probably not. You think mentioning their name gets you out of the obligation? I don't think so, Microsoft. We'll talk to you later. But on to the rest of the video, which got even weirder than that. Watch.
I'm a Caucasian woman with long blonde hair, and I go by she, her.
I'm a Caucasian man with glasses and a beard. I go by he, him.
I'm a white woman with short brown hair, wearing a navy and floral blouse and dark jeans.
I am a tall Hispanic male wearing a burgundy shirt and some blue jeans.
I'm a white man. I'm wearing a polo shirt, blue jeans, and glasses.
I'm a black woman with light brown skin, rocking curly hair today, a red shirt, and black jacket.
I'm an Asian white female with dark brown hair wearing a red sleeveless top.
To be inclusive of our whole community, I'll describe what I look like to help those who may have low vision or may not otherwise see me. I'm a white woman with dark brown hair wearing a hot pink sweater.
It's really weird.
Okay. So we call Microsoft, they're very literal, of course. They make bad software for a living. They're not artists. And we asked them, what is this? And they said, we're doing it to help blind viewers. But of course, they're lying because the guy with the mohawk, which was the most interesting thing about him, never even mentioned that he had a mohawk. So they're lying to the blind people. And by the way, how would someone who can't see know what a red shirt looks like anyway? Keep in mind, this isn't some 8th grader like going crazy on TikTok. This is a choreographed presentation for one of the most powerful companies in the world. So how long before they make your kids do this? Chadwick Moore has thought a lot about this. He's the editor-in-chief of Outspoken, our old friend. We're happy to see him tonight. Chadwick, thanks so much for coming on. If you could just describe yourself, by the way, for the visually impaired in our audience, we'd be grateful.
Sure, thank you for asking. I am a white male, sorry. I have a beard. I'm about 6 feet tall. I have piercing blue eyes, which if you can't see them, that's really unfortunate for you. And I'm currently wearing a patterned shirt with a different pattern tie, which is called power clashing.
If you have the opportunity, why not give yourself an upgrade? Take your word for it. You know, I'm actually 6'6". I'm a kind of famous triathlete. I've got hands the size of dinner plates. Like, why not?
That was exactly my thought. And then what's next? Boxers or briefs? I mean, come on. With the campuses, well, how soon do we start getting into personal details? Like, also, when I was a child, once at Christmas, I really wanted a Susie Bake Oven, but I got a football instead. Anyway, let's go on to what we're here together to talk about. With the campus, I think that why don't they just give the land back and everything on it if they have to name the tribes? But also, what I want to know is, who the hell came up with this? Who was demanding this? I don't think that any lobbying groups for the visually impaired were something decided November 2021 is the year they want to become just as aggressive and irritating and annoying as the pronoun jockeys and the gender wizards. This is all about these people who work in big tech who really feel have some sort of guilt and have nothing else to worry about other than trying to tell you how virtuous and wonderful they are, because they are driven mad by the idea that somewhere out there might be a blind person who is just dying to know what color their sweater is, although the color wouldn't really mean anything to them.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, so of course, as usual, just like BLM does not help black people, I know a couple of blind people. I've never heard a blind person complain about anything. In fact, people I know in my life who are the least likely to complain about anything are visually impaired. I don't know if there's a connection, but I've certainly noticed it. There's no lobby of blind people yelling at Microsoft. They're doing this just to let you know how great they are.
That's exactly right, and that's a very good point. I would say the same thing about every blind person I've ever met. Yeah, and then once again, and then maybe it's just, what is Microsoft leadership supposed to do? Because as we see with these woke corporations, the rank and file are so insane that they don't dare go against them unless they have some kind of Netflix situation unfolding and protests and bad press.
That's exactly right. We support your power clashing. Thank you for describing it. Chadwick Moore, great to see you tonight.
Thank you. You too.
So Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri just gave a really interesting speech about young men and masculinity. Of course, he was attacked for it, but it was worth hearing more about. Senator Hawley joins us after the break.
Do you take aspirin? Plain aspirin could be hurting your stomach. New Vazalore is the first liquid-filled aspirin capsule clinically shown to cause fewer ulcers than plain aspirin. Vazalore is designed to help protect, releasing aspirin after it leaves your stomach, where it is absorbed, to give you the benefits of life-saving aspirin to help prevent another heart attack or stroke. Heart protection with your stomach in mind. Try new liquid-filled Vazalore. Aspirin made amazing.
Investors, you need to protect against market drops and inflation. The best diversification is hard assets with lower risk and higher returns, including steady cash flow. The NRIA Fund of Prime Class A Properties pays a 10% monthly distribution plus targeted total returns to 21%. It contains high-demand real estate in supply-constrained markets away from urban crowding. The Federal Reserve is boosting realty values with low interest rates. Where we build, it's booming. Our fund is strategically positioned for growth with over $1 billion of new development value in progress. Call and receive our free investors report. Don't fight the Fed, flow with the Fed. Call 800-800-1414. That's 800-800-1414. Call now while the Fed is boosting realty markets with low rates and receive our free investors report. Don't fight the Fed, flow with the Fed. Call 800-800-1414. That's 800-800-1414. Or go to nria.net.
Introducing the all-new Nutrisystem. Lose up to 18 pounds in your first 2 months.
And now get 1 week of shakes free with your purchase. Text Marie to 321-321. Order your Nutrisystem plan right now. Get a month of breakfast, lunches, dinners, and snacks delivered to your door. Get your shakes now absolutely free. Text Marie to 321-321. That's MARIE to 321-321.
Do you have any idea how your mattress affects your body and how well you sleep? Is it too hard or too soft, causing you to wake up with sore shoulders, back, or hips? Are you
ever going to pay me for the 200?
Now you can get the total body support you need and the better sleep you want with the new My
Absolutely
Mattress
not.
Topper.
Hello, I'm
Dad's
Brother
never
Bill.
paid
When
me
I invented my new My
for the other
Mattress
stuff, so
Topper,
no.
I made it to have everything you'd ever want in a topper. My Mattress Topper helps give you the support you need, helps relieve your pressure points, and regulates your body temperature for you as an individual. It comes with a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry the cover. It's made in the USA, and I back it with my 60-day money-back guarantee.
For a limited time, save 50% on a My Pillow mattress topper with your promo code. Now as low as $99.99. Go to mypillow.com or call now. Don't delay. Order now.
My Pillow Topper delivers on its promise to give you a better night's sleep.
I can sleep all night through, and it's a miracle for me.
Mike's exclusive 3-layer design starts with a layer of My Pillow foam, providing you superior support and comfort. The second layer of transitional foam evenly distributes body weight and helps relieve uncomfortable pressure points for optimal comfort. Mike's ultra-soft outer layer is a patented temperature-regulating cover that helps keep you at your ideal sleeping temperature all night long. Unlike other sleep systems costing thousands, the My Pillow mattress topper takes comfort to a whole new level without any wires, remotes, or moving parts. Save 50% and get a better night's sleep with the My Pillow mattress topper. Now as low as $99.99. Use your promo code when you call or go to mypillow.com to order. But hurry, Mike's incredible 50% off offer is only good for a limited time. Order now.
I personally guarantee it's going to change your bed into the most comfortable bed you'll ever own.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Have you ever considered getting a walk-in tub? Well, look no further. Safe Step's best offer of the year is here. When you purchase your brand new Safe Step walk-in tub, you'll receive a free shower package. Yes, a free shower package. And if you call today, you will also receive a free built-in Bluetooth speaker, plus $1,500 off. Now enjoy the best of both worlds, the therapeutic benefits of a warm, soothing bath that can help increase mobility, relieve pain, boost energy, and even improve sleep. Or, if you prefer, you can take a refreshing shower, all in one product. Call now to receive our best offer of the year, a free shower package and a free Spa Sounds Bluetooth speaker, plus $1,500 off with the purchase of your brand new Safe Step walk-in tub.
1-800-738-1954. That's 1-800-738-1954.
So for all the women's empowerment talk that continues at pace like it's 1973, the numbers are really clear. It's men in this country who are in deep trouble by every measure. A couple years ago, we did a series called Men in America, which explained exactly how men are falling behind in this country. We found that important at the time. It's even more important now. The numbers are even worse. Finally, a member of Congress noticed this and spoke to it forcefully. That was Senator Josh Hawley. He spoke at the National Conservatism Conference, and he pointed out something obvious. The masculinity is under attack in this country, and men are withering and dying as a result of it. It's not an overstatement. Anybody familiar with the social science can confirm that. So over at MSNBC, of course, they found this deeply offensive. They compared Josh Hawley, of course, to Vladimir Putin.
Josh Hawley, with his trademark laser-like precision, has honed in on the real front-burner issue in America: masculinity in this country. I am certainly not shocked that he said something this wacky, because he said stuff like this before.
It's a couple of dashes of political extremism from a very, very cynical, Stanford-educated United States senator. It's a dollop of the type of rhetoric that you may hear in Vladimir Putin's Russia, that you may hear in Viktor Orban's Hungary, a fusion of these masculine notions, right? This is why you see Putin posing with tigers with his shirt off.
At some point, we're going to take a closer forensic look at the personal lives of the three people you just saw on the screen. A lot of happy, well-balanced relationships, do you think? Probably not. Josh Hawley, by contrast, is the senator from Missouri about whom they were complaining. He joins us tonight. Senator, thanks so much for coming on. So you felt moved to defend masculinity. How come?
Well, because it's in crisis. Men are in crisis, Tucker, as you pointed out. I mean, listen, we've got at least 16 million men in this country who are out of the labor force. They're not just unemployed. They're not even trying to work. And I'm talking about able-bodied men, prime-age men. We have an epidemic of fatherlessness in this country. What's the left saying? The left saying that America is a systemically oppressive place and that men are to blame and that masculinity is to blame. You know, if you want to be a man, if you are assertive, if you're independent, if you display those characteristics that psychologists have associated with men for decades, then you're contributing to the oppressive place that is America. That just isn't true. And it's time that we call that out. And it's time that we say to young men in particular, we need you. We need you to be responsible. We need you to get a job. And you can make this country a better place by being who you were meant to be. And we should call men to that.
God, I can't imagine why anyone would be anything but grateful to hear that. Why do you think that triggers the morons so much?
Well, because the left, they hate this country. They don't believe in gender, you know. I mean, they're trying to do away with gender, and they don't believe in manhood.
Hello, my friend. I'm doing good. Shut up. That's right. Shut up. 3. Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah. What's that? Oh, good. Hey, man, how did that go, dude? Good. So are we doing 2 tonight? Okay. How many people? A lot of people show up? Oh, good. Okay. No, I'm sure it was probably a iconic Obama speech, like, or like when Senator Byrd was honored by Biden. It was probably one of those grand moments. Oh, wow, really? Now, who's saying that? Is that you or is that someone else giving? Oh, the crowd endorsed it like that. Interesting. Huh. You're so wrong. Wow. At a guy's funeral, at a guy's memorial, right? That sounds. No, it sounds good. You should do a roast at a guy's memorial. I like it. No, hey, very off color, but nice. Wow. Yeah, you heard me. You must your earphones must not be working or something because when I speak to you, I speak clarity and clear to you, and yet there's something that doesn't translate. What is that? Your arrogance? You're right. I have no idea why I'm even breathing like right now. Okay. Who said that? No, who said I didn't want to be? Well, I don't like that one. No, I don't. That one I don't, because you know what? That's not true. Yeah, that's not true at all. That's not even anything on my mind. No, no. You said something shitty. Oh. Oh, okay. Hey, let me think. Let's see. I've done it about 400 times, and you said one shitty comment in the 2 years I've known you. Okay, I think that's fair. You're right. What just cashed in? No. You're right. You're right. You're completely right. Shut up. Okay, now I feel 10 times better. You shouldn't. Absolutely, dude. I just want to make sure you're committed to me. That is clearly the truth. My wife will tell you that on a daily basis. We got some good things we're working on with that Orlando station with this Kia dealership. We're very close. That's true. Yeah, the water boy. The water boy. Good. Good evening, America. Dan Sileo, USA Radio. What a great night to be an American. I think I'm going to start my show off every night with that. We're honoring our military this week, right? I love that statement. How many places in the world can some guy like myself, limited in education, worked hard, was given so many opportunities by his family, second generation here in America be given the opportunities that I've been given in my life. It's remarkable. It really is. And I'm a lucky man to be in this country and get a chance to do some of the things that I've done. Professional sports, broadcasting for 30 years. This is fantastic. How could you not love being American? Now, there's Americans that sometimes make you feel that it's not cool being an American, but you know what it's about, because we all make our own opportunity. What somebody says about you or their assessment of you doesn't necessarily translate into how you take advantage of all the things this country can give us. If I listened to all the people that thought that I would fail, I would never have ever aspired to be a professional athlete, a professional broadcaster. You know how many people in my life have said, nah, it's not working. Nah, you're not good enough. Nah, you're this and that. Because we're constantly evaluated when you're in these type of businesses or when you're looking to strive to do something in your life. That's a dream that you set out for yourselves. That's what sports is. That's what broadcasting is. That's what the American dream is. Sports, in my opinion, is something that you dream to be. Dreams do come true. I'm a prime example of that. Politicians have dreams. Actors have dreams. That's why the sports world and why I've remained in it, broadcasting in it, I've kind of changed. I throw politics. But then again, for 30 years, my show has never been a sports show. It's about sports. My show is more about, it's a guy's show. Sit around talking about politics in sports, which is becoming prevalent and more prevalent each and every single day. I'm going to get to it here in a minute. There was a ruling by the NFL tonight that kind of goes down mainstream what everybody's doing now. The woke media people, and there are woke media people, are attacking one athlete. And the NFL is being driven by the winds of social media. You know, I found out something very interesting. 70% of Americans aren't on Twitter. Did you know that, guys? 70% of Americans don't go to Twitter. This is a vehicle for the people that were in the back of the room in our country. Do you understand that? Social media are the kids that sat in the back of the room. They're not the guys that were in the front. They're not the guys that were sitting up front. They're not the cream of our country. They're the people in the back room. That's what social media is. Those are the people that bitch and complain. And those are the people. It's funny, though. Isn't it crazy how social media has made people think that that's the end all? The president of the United States, President Trump, he validated it. Social media, Twitter. Turned it into a news source, which it's really not. Talk about spreading of false information. That's the king of it right there. It's the outhouse wall, as I tell you all the time, of social media. Let's get into the story where I'm going here. So Aaron Rodgers and the assault on Aaron Rodgers has become now into the mainstream media. You got people like Howard Stern making comments about how he should be kicked out of the league. League came down tonight, by the way, as we were going on the air and fined Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers a number, which is not really anything, but I'll explain to you why they had to do that, because it was a union agreement between the union, the NFL Players Association, and the league on how violators of the COVID rules would be handled. Nobody was ever going to get suspended. There was no suspension that was ever going to go down. I don't know where people were saying that he should be thrown out of the league. There's a suspension. Nowhere in the collective bargaining agreement of this agreement here with the COVID rules were there any talk of suspending anybody or losing games or losing draft picks. But that doesn't matter. Just like in this Rittenhauer case, facts don't matter. Facts don't matter. Videos don't matter. The winds of social media. Aaron Rodgers has been attacked by everybody. You know what's funny about Howard Stern? By the way, Howard Stern is absolutely lost his cannolis on being a broadcaster. That guy, when he burst into our world of the media, had onions the size of cannonballs, would do things that were revolutionary, would do things that were subject to being questioned when it came to race, religion, and politics. He had no filter. Now he pretends that he's some liberal and that he is some do-gooder guy, when here's a guy that made a mountain of money on doing racist things. And I'm to believe that this guy now is all of a sudden the champion of liberals? Go back and listen to those tapes or watch some of those videos. That's not who he really is. But because he knows it's profitable. The race business is profitable, folks. It's one of the most, I think, fastest growing businesses we have in media. You just throw race out, or you throw this vaccination conversation out, oh my God, you can make yourself a name for yourself. Look at the people that are doing it. Doesn't matter if you have the facts. They're just absolute. You know what's a prime example of that too? And I'm going to get back into the lane here with Aaron Rodgers. Okay? This Durham investigation, where people in the media for 4 years were pushing a narrative that according to Durham, there's going to be more indictments. And you know what? The media went right along with it. And sometimes they were given false information to propagandize. They totally were involved in it. But you don't see people reporting that anymore. That story's kind of gone away, hasn't it? Okay, so when you're hearing Aaron Rodgers being attacked now by these people, this has got nothing to do with football. This has everything to do with vaccination status. You know he's 7-1. He didn't get a chance to play last week, obviously. And for the record, he's cleared all of his tests. He's going to play on Sunday against the Seahawks. There was never a doubt that he was going to. This was all about vaccination and protocols. My question to the NFL would be, why have you made your protocol so public? Why have you done that? So that you can allow media people to attack the non-vaccinated? And so that you could go to the winds of social media. To me, that's not looking out for your players. Where's the NFL Players Association in supporting of Aaron Rodgers' decision? You know, the BLM guys decided years ago, or a couple of years ago, that they weren't going to play a game because of George Floyd being shot. Okay? That's a personal decision. And by the way, you want to hear something? I actually agree with it because they were honoring a murder that went wrong, and the police should be held accountable for that. And I agreed with them. But in the process, you know what happened? They lost half their audience. Hey, get this. That's collateral damage to what you believe in sometimes. When you have a cause and you have something you believe in, be prepared to have it challenged. Okay? Nobody's bitching about what they did. Aaron Rodgers, though, not being vaccinated, it's a big deal to people. Why? Why is it a big deal? Did you see what OSHA said the other day? That mandates weren't necessary, and yet the White House is going to go forward with mandates anyway. Did you see that? OSHA came out and said, and then you know what the president did? The president basically told them, we're going to do it anyway. Thank God the court stepped in and said, no, hang in there. Highly questionable constitutionally. You're going to put mandates on people. Really? You don't have that power, dude. You tried to get a government agency to go along with it. They wouldn't do it. OSHA is set up for, like, if you get your hand caught in a door and work environment conditions. Like a soda machine falls on you or something. Mandates. They've never in the history of their anything ever issued anything like that. I think the company or the part of the government started OSHA 71. Okay? This is all about politicizing vaccinations. Now you're using Aaron Rodgers in the process. Hey, And by the way, I want to go back to something my guy Chris O told me in an email because he sent it out to company. Guys, we're not doctors. That's not what this is about here. I'm not telling you you shouldn't be vaccinated or you should be. I swear to you, I'm not. Because I don't care about your health records. I don't care about what you do with your health. That's no concern of mine. What my concern is that these companies, the government, and the NFL or sports leagues targeting non-vaccination people so that they could be publicly thrown out for people to bash them over the head with like a hammer or a microphone is absurd. Why are you doing that to Aaron Rodgers? He's now in the center of a controversy over vaccinations. He's a freaking football player. And he wants questions. Watch this. What's the long-term effects? That's like that's like asking a question about like communism. People go, how can you ask that? Well, you know what's funny? The National Football League does this, folks. They tell us all the time, be careful what you put in your body because it may get you suspended. Be careful what you put in your body. There's letters that are sent to you and your agent every single couple of months. Hey, listen, if you're taking this particular ephedra and it's, and it's in line here with some of the GNC products that you potentially buy, be careful because you could get a positive test for PEDs. If you take, you're constantly being told and updated. But when you ask a question about the vaccinations, oh my God, that's off limits. Why is that off limits? Why can't I do more research? Why can't I do something that's alternative? There's alternative health. Why can't I do alternative here? If I've got the antibodies, that's what people are telling me. Now, I'm not a doctor too, and I'm not playing one here on the radio. All I'm asking you is why does the NFL and these sports leagues think that they have to be in line with the federal government or the winds of social media? Why do you think you have to be that way? Republicans buy tennis shoes too. Same thing Michael Jordan used to say. You're not OSHA, you're the NFL. Act like it. Odell Beckham was released today, officially. Where does he land? I'll tell you next. You keep it here on the Sileo Show. Yeah. Too short. Well, okay, so we all look alike, right? Okay. Right. Oh, God, does he really? Yeah. Okay. Go peel me some potatoes, okay? I like them I like no skin on my potatoes too, okay? Yeah, okay. Why don't you go make me a bomb? No. See? Wow. Wow, you Tony Soprano. The potato fat on this is the only reason you guys came here. Yeah. You guys couldn't build a boat. You had to hitch a ride with the English. Oh my God, that just came to me. Wow, that's Like, holy cow, man. It's so true. You guys had to hitch a ride with the English. You couldn't make boats. You made like little pontoon boats. Like little creek jumpers. I don't think so. Yeah. No. My family members hung him upside down and beat his ass to death. Oh, they did. The Olive Garden is not an Italian restaurant, guy. Okay, yeah, right. Oh, so let me guess. It must be a great dinner over at Applebee's for you guys. I like Marie Colander. Their pies are sensational. Dude, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah, Kime. Well, yeah, Liam, thank you. That's your new name, Liam O'Sullivan. Hey, thanks, Liam. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, Liam. Really? I'll wait and see what. Money? Why doesn't he just do a show from home then? Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. By the way, if you'd like to join us on our social media platforms like my friend Trevor here, on my Twitch channel, YouTube, and Facebook, we so welcome you. You can add to the program. Thank you so much for joining us, as we are all across the country too on USA Radio Network. Thank you very much. Couple segments from now, we're going to talk a little bit about Week 10 of the NFL. We'll get into that, but I want to throw the fine numbers out too. This is how big a deal the Aaron Rodgers stories is to the NFL. You ready? What do you think the fine is? Team's fined $300,000. You know what Aaron Rodgers is fined? $14,650. You know what Aaron Rodgers makes a year? $35 million. That's like 14 cents. That's the equivalent of 14 cents. That's what the league thinks of it. But you know what they're getting? In public propaganda? Millions of dollars of. Look at the league trying to do the right thing here. Look at the league and look at how they play to that side, but they don't act to that side. They appease liberals, but they don't follow through because most liberals don't follow through on their promises. That's how the NFL works. Remember last year when Drew Brees got his ass kicked for fighting a little bit of the comments back and pushing back on the whole Colin Kaepernick thing about supporting the military, not taking a knee. Remember they started calling him a racist? Did you ever wonder in that whole process when the league came out with these crazy statements, oh, we support the belief of what Kaepernick was doing, we support minorities, we support this and that. How come no NFL team ever offered Colin Kaepernick a job or at least even a workout? Did you ever ask yourself that? They were doing this with a megaphone. Hey, we're behind you. They were behind you the whole time. They were never in front. You want to know when the NFL is doing something that best suits them? They're in front of something. They're never behind it. When you look at an issue, okay, from now on, look at where the NFL's position is on that issue. They're always behind, never in front, because it doesn't benefit the owners. Republicans are going to be there because those are the people that buy the tickets. You know what liberals are going to do? They're going to bitch and moan, and the NFL is going to feed them what they need to hear. Oh, social justice. Well, how come Kaepernick never got a job? How come you have such a low hiring rate for assistant coaches in the NFL? How come you only have 2 black executives in the NFL? How come there's no owners that are black in the NFL? There's nobody that's even part of an ownership group that's part of the NFL that's a minority. How come you don't ask that question? But we're behind you. Aaron Rodgers should be vaccinated. Really? Those fines, $14,650. Aaron Rodgers just went like this. Hey, I got that in my wallet. Okay. Hey, guys, do me a favor, man. If you're in the Phoenix area, can you please do me a favor? Get on over there, man, and head yourself over to Hooters and check out the $11 lunch special starting at just, get this, $8 each. Wash it on down with some nice cold Bud Light drafts. $3, that's all it costs. Get over to Hooters right there in the Valley. And you know what? You're going to really love the fact, too, that, look, the Cardinals are doing well. College football's going on. Hey, Arizona's not really doing all that hot, but I love my friend Jed Fish. Just make sure you get on over to any of the Valley Hooters. All right. I do want to hit on Odell Beckham and an NFL team showing you something and telling you something, but doing the direct opposite. It's crazy what they do to their fans. We'll hit on it next. Yeah, because I'm a little sensitive on that. Yes. Yeah, but if you keep it going, I'm going to think there's something to it. Ugh. It's all right, Brendan. Yes, you do, Roan. Gonna cry for the next couple hours. You didn't hear me the first time. That's a miss by you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Be a better conversation. Interesting question. Oh, wow. It must have been the other person telling it because. Oh, yeah. He delivered that like an Amazon truck. No, you don't. No, I don't think you do. Shut up. No. You need to stop because you're a freak. You're I almost said it. You're unstable. No. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Hold on here. Wait a minute. Here, I got it. I'm trying to condition myself not to say that word anymore. Yeah. Yeah, you guys had to hitch a ride with the English. Nice. And you were in steer. Just again. Wow. Man, do I miss the days of old-timey radio. Dan Sileo, USA Radio. Man, I used to be able to say and do so many obnoxious things. You think I'm obnoxious now? Oh, God. The characters we used to do, and there's no way you can't do an impression of somebody any longer. Like if you do an impression of somebody who's Asian or Mexican, hell, I would probably even think Italian. Somebody would probably come off, or if you're doing like a rabbi or something, somebody would probably call it a racist or whatever thing, because you just can't do that anymore. I know many broadcasters that have been suspended for that. You just can't do that stuff anymore, Chris. Oh, well, that's because you guys have had a few. It's all good, though. I mean, hey, I'm right there with you. He's doing that, not me. Hey, I'm sorry. I have to throw him under the bus. And I call him Liam. Oh, goodbye. Go away. Holy cow, what a rabbit hole. Oh my God. Funny stuff, man. All good. All right, let me get into Odell Beckham. You know what, too? And one thing more about the Aaron Rodgers story. I don't want to stay in vaccination conversations with you. Don't you get enough of that all day? Right? Don't you get enough of people banging on that drum on one side or the other? How can you not be vaccinated? How can you believe what they're... And you're like, I could have swore just a year ago that I heard Democrats doing the opposite. And now we're seeing Democrats and Republicans just flipping the page on us. No wonder you got Americans with their heads spinning on this stuff. Because the politicians flip-flop. There's one thing in radio that you're kind of told when you first get going. When Rush was teaching me how to do radio, God rest his soul. And I'll tell you something. You may not like Rush Limbaugh's politics, but I'll tell you something. That guy was a master at taking the same newspaper that you or I read and turning it into radio gold. Bo Snerdley's a friend of mine, and he used to just sit there and he goes, guarantee you he's going to take the Miami Herald out. Because I went down to South Florida. My friend Gabe Hobbs had me go down for a week. And I've told you this story, and I sat there and I watched Rush do his show. You should have seen how many times he used to laugh at himself going into breaks and how he used to just sit there and go like this. Everyone's going to go crazy what I just said. He would say things about Obama or Clinton, and you go like this. There's no way on the planet I could say that. I don't have that kind of equity in the business, nor do I have the kind of advertisers. That guy was such a polarizing dude. But you know what the thing he said? He would take that information, like the Aaron Rodgers story, and I would read it one way, and he would see it another way. He saw opportunity at making gold radio. Instead of putting your opinion out there, Rush would look at something and go, what benefits my audience the best? What is the closest thing to my audience's views and my views to make it connect with them? That's what he was telling me. When you find a topic like this Aaron Rodgers topic, you see how people are doing it, right? They have one side of the aisle here, and then they have vaccinations or not vaccinations. You know how Rush would dissect that story? What's the benefit to both sides? Which sides benefit financially more? How much are the pharmaceutical companies in the pockets of particular parties? Are the pharmaceutical companies more on the side of the Democratic, and are they more Democratic donors? Is that why we're having mandates when it comes to vaccinations? He would throw that out. If you were just a person in the media today that were saying, well, the reason we're having mandates now for vaccinations is because they're more of a side where they're gonna donate more to Democratic candidates than Republican candidates. That would infuriate people. Okay? Because anytime you follow the money, he used to tell me, people get exposed. That's how I think he would see that story. He would see that story, well, the Democrats benefit more because pharmaceutical companies back Democrats. Jesus, wait a minute. I thought we were trying to cure Americans here. Oh, no, we're not. And if it does in the process, it'd be one of the only things that government has come through on where it's been a benefit to our country. Very few things have come through Washington, D.C. that have benefited you. Have you taken a look at the gas pumps? Have you taken a look at the prices of food? What has anyone done to help your life? Nothing. Zero. And we're sitting around talking about vaccinations and non-vaccinations. I want to talk about gas prices. Not enough food on the shelves. Okay? Am I going to have to make a decision between my rent and being warm this winter? We're already being told it's going to be a pretty stout winter. Do Americans have to make that decision? We're talking vaccinations. Give me a break. That's how I think Rush would look at it. He'd be right. He'd be right. Okay, let's get on to, there's another story that's going on. Odell Beckham Jr. was officially waived and cleared waivers today. Now, what that means is they go from the worst record in the NFL today, which are the Lions, and they go down to the team with the best record, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's the Arizona Cardinals. They would be the last pick. There was a $7.5 million number that was associated with Odell Beckham. Beckham, this very gifted wide receiver. Has he been a problem in Cleveland? Not really. Was he a problem in New York? Yeah. But this will be his third team now. So he clears waivers. And what I love about the kid is now the kid gets to pick his own destination. When you clear waivers, you now get to negotiate with any team that's out there. What type of team would you be looking for? And I'm going to give you a comparison to Antonio Brown and what he did with Tom Brady in Tampa. Let me take you on this journey here. If you were Odell Beckham and you know you're going to your third team, third different quarterback, within a matter of 5 years, and you're thinking you're still elite, coming off an injury too of a year ago, what type of situation would you want to be put in if you were Odell Beckham in the next team? Well, let's think about that. I want a stable organization. I don't want to be dealing with an organization that can't make decisions and are not winners. Okay? I got a couple in mind already. One already just popped into my mind. I want to go to a coach that's going to see my abilities and is going to be able to motivate and help my ability. I also need to go to a place that's got a quarterback that can help get me the ball. I've got to be on my best behavior. I've got to do everything to make everybody think that they can put equity in me if I decide to go out into the open market. Here, let me give you an example of that. You guys remember Antonio Brown, who's down in Tampa now with Tom Brady? Remember he was arrested. He had some domestic violence cases against him. The cops came and got him. They were going to Baker Act his ass. Remember the whole thing? Antonio Brown was arrested by the Fort Lauderdale cops and all. Nobody wanted him. What happened? Well, Tom Brady brought him in. Tom Brady brought him in. He ends up winning a Super Bowl. And get this. He tried to go out in the open market. Wanted $7 million a year. Do you know what team said? Man, he's so gifted. Do you know Antonio Brown is the fastest receiver to 900 catches? And this is after that disastrous year. That's in NFL history. That's Jerry Rice and Randy Moss. He's still on a trajectory to go to Canton. Now he's got a Super Bowl championship. But get this, he had to come running back to Tampa. So he comes running back to Tampa. They signed him for like $3.5 million. People out there saying you haven't built enough equity up. But Tom Brady has saved his life and saved his career. He has another season like he had a year ago, and this time Antonio Brown looks like he's back to being Antonio Brown in Pittsburgh. When he goes on in the open market, someone's going to give him a shot. They're going to sign him for a $7 million deal. And he's going to get back on track again financially. He's back on track career-wise, but now financially it's going to match. If I'm Odell Beckham, I want to take the same path that Antonio Brown was on to get my career going again. Do I go to a place like Pittsburgh that's a solid franchise? I would, but their quarterback's on vapors. So I think Pittsburgh's out. Do I go to New England? What a better place to go to than New England. You're with the greatest coach of all time. You've got a young quarterback. And if you can play in the Belichick system, you could play anywhere in the NFL. That might be a place I want to land. Pete Carroll in Seattle. I'm not going to any place that potentially could hurt me because this could be my last stop. This is going to be my stop to get my career back on track, the same way Antonio Brown got his career back on track. Trevor on my Twitch channel says, how about Dallas? You think Dallas is stable? The owner's constantly in the way. Love Jerry, but he is. They rule and they manage the football team from the owner's box. The head coach has no autonomy. I don't think that that's a place for me. Dak Prescott and me would probably be great. The coach, I don't know if I believe in Mike McCarthy. Aaron Rodgers hated the guy. Aaron Rodgers is having the best time in his career now. Do you know that he's won 33 of 40 games? You could say whatever you want about Rodgers. Don't let the media paint him into being some bad or average guy, because he's not. He's elite. That guy is elite. How about the Rams? Sean McVay, love the guy. You know that Sean McVay, the head coach of the Rams, How many years, Trevor, has he been in LA? 5 years now? Is it 5 years? You know, he's still the youngest coach in the NFL. 2017. Okay, 4 years. He's still the youngest coach in the league. 5, okay? That's crazy great. You got Matthew Stafford, Les Snead, and Kevin Demoff are your front office guys. Got Stan Kroenke as your owner. And what you also love about the Rams, you know what you have to love about the way that they do business compared to the Raiders? Look at all the crap that's going on with the Raiders. Another player got in trouble today. Man. And you put that team in Vegas. You know what I love about the Rams in Los Angeles? Have you ever heard Aaron Donald out at night? Have you heard Matthew Stafford running the streets of Sunset Strip? Not even Jalen Ramsey goes out. I have never heard of anybody with the Rams in any trouble with authorities. The Raiders are 1 year in Vegas. They got a player that killed somebody in a DUI. Their coach has been called a racist and fired in disgrace. They got players that are out on the strip, and authorities are starting to come down on the Raiders. Got another guy, like I said, get in trouble today. You think that's going to slow down? They're the freaking Raiders. So I've got to go to a place. That's why people are saying he could land in Las Vegas. Why would Odell Beckham want to go to the Raiders? And personally, why would the Raiders want to bring in a personality like that unless you're looking for trouble? You're already in enough trouble perception-wise in that city. You got to admit it, man. So for me, Beckham has got to, in my opinion, he has got to get to a place that's going to be conducive to getting his career back on track, not growing his brand. Hey, by the way, do me a favor. Get over to our friends at podcasterwarehouse.com. Headphones, earbuds, microphones. Hey, all the furniture you need too, man. This is your one-stop place. Use the promo code Sileo. 25% off everything that's on the website. $5 to $5,000. Podcasterwarehouse.com. That's podcasterwarehouse.com. I got to tell you about the Philadelphia Eagles here in a second. They have been BSing their fans the last 10 years, I'll say. We'll hit on it. We'll do it next. Shut up. Yeah, there'll be always plenty of those shut-ups. Whatever, guy. Oh. Ugh. No, I fear, like, when I put my fist in your face, if it gets all over me or not, or if it gets on my shoes. Yeah, not worried about it. It's all right, Junior. It's all right, Junior. Big guy. You have to go where? Yeah. Nineteen 1963 Pete Rose haircuts you're talking, correct? 1963 Pete Rose got yeah. When he first broke in with the Reds. Trevor just gave me a great topic. Trevor, I'll hit on that next. No, you can't. You go for 80 White Castles. You don't go for a White Castle. Hey, can I have, like, if you walked into a White Castle and went like this, hey, can I have a White Castle burger? The guy would look at you and go, you mean 5, right? Wow, that's awful. Well, I bet that came out wrong. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. Thank you very much. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah, that's coming around the corner, man. One of my favorites of all time. It's one of my favorite Charlie Browns, the Pumpkin Patch. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm right. Okay, you're right. That's right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. I love those Charlie Browns. I grew up on those things. All right, let me before I get to Odell Beckham a little bit more here, I get to the Eagles here. I've got to get to this. Trevor just brought something up. I don't know if you saw the Monday night game last night, and Tony Coretta, the official, basically hip checked a Chicago Bear guy running off the field. He called him for hitting a referee, threw a 15-yard penalty on him. I thought the game was rigged. Do you know what he called him on? For a celebration. Instead, he tried covering his rear end. And I was like this. I was like, yo, taunting. That's it. He threw the taunting. See, you have to understand something about the taunting rule that the NFL has, in case you don't know. The NFL wants to clean up the league a little bit because they think taunting has become too excessive. And you're starting to see, that's what the NFL is saying, some of these actions down on the kiddie football leagues in college. And the league wants, Mike Tomlin even said it, they want to try to clean this thing up. The problem with that rule is it's too subjective. You're putting the game more in the hands of the referee when you have subjective rules. Holding is already subjective as it is. You could call holding on every NFL play. And it's left to the interpretation of the referee to do that. But when you have refs blatantly doing something on what he did last night, and then he threw the taunting rule out, he clearly was not thinking taunting. He wanted him to have a penalty. So you know what he did? He created a penalty. David Stern, the old commissioner of the NBA, said something about the integrity of a league. If anybody questions the referees, the integrity of the league is automatically going to be questioned on whether or not you're on the up and up. You can't have NFL officials having this kind of power. It also shows you this, that the NFL refs want to be part of the storyline too each and every single night. The best referee to me is one you never see or one you don't know their name. I don't want to know your name. You're there to officiate. You're not there to be part of the game. You know, the Major League umpires are the worst at it. They are the worst because their strike zone is so subjective, and it was so subjective. Now they have that automated strike zone, and you know what that thing is set up to do? It's set up to keep the integrity of the umpires. Not so much the players, but the integrity of the umpires. You start seeing balls being called out of the strike zone like Greg Maddux used to get. Your integrity is going to be questioned. Can't have your integrity questioned. That means your league is in question. And with gambling being so big, prop bets, backdoor covers, all of that stuff, is now legal. You've got to be very careful because legalization now of prop bets and gambling, the NFL is going to benefit the most from it. You have got to, in every power that you have, if you're the commissioner of the league, make sure that those referees are never questioned. Because if you're going to have professional gamblers and people in Vegas start to question whether or not you're rigging the games, you're going to have a distrust with the American public. Look, we just went through this with elections. Half the country, I don't know half, maybe, how about this? A high percentage of the country thinks the last two elections were rigged, do they not? They think they were rigged. I don't know if they were or not, because I don't believe anything the media says nowadays. Okay, I just don't. But if you took a polling, you could ask Democrats and Republicans, they would both say they believe the 16 and 20 election was rigged. Do they not? You can't have that in your sport. Trevor's saying people, that's what they're saying. That game last night was rigged. Can't have that, my friends. You just cannot have that. All right, we'll take a look at week 10 of the NFL. I think this is going to be a great week. A lot of storylines can tell us a lot here. All right, we'll reset and keep it right here on the Dan Sileo Show. Yeah, goodbye. Yeah, unfunny. You hear what he's playing in my headphones? I don't have my headphones on. You hear what he's playing? Oh, I'm letting everybody on YouTube know what you're playing in my headphones. He thought it'd make me feel at home. Yeah, okay, great, kid. Wow. When you do that, sound like a man, please. I love it. It's such a. I'm going to watch that tonight now. Yeah, I am. Oh, I love it. So I'm just curious, like when you mix came over on the English boats, when you guys got to like, Hell's Kitchen, and you were over on 8th Avenue, and you guys were selling your potatoes. I was just curious, was it all in one bucket? Yeah. Okay. See how you get personal? It's nothing there. Yeah. Yeah, because you're weak. Of course I'm ready. Okay. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. We have a lot of fun here tonight. We have a lot of fun every night. The happy hour social media and radio. That we're everywhere. Platform performers today, as they like to call them. $14,000 Aaron Rodgers was fined. Jesus criminy. $14,000 to a guy making $35 million. And what does he make with the State Farm? I'm glad to see State Farm. He's staying with them. What do you think? He makes $50 million a year? $14,000 they fined him for the so-called COVID protocols the NFL has. It's a slap in the face to all of you that are screaming for him to be thrown out of the league. Doesn't it embarrass you? The NFL doesn't even think anything of it. You want to find a player something? You want to find a player? Take his salary away for that day or that week. Do you know he wasn't dock pay? Yeah. So whatever you want to figure out what he makes per game, just do $35 million divided by 17. So whatever that is what he makes on a game check or on a weekly check. It's deposited into your account every Tuesday. But they fined him $14,000 because he didn't have a mask on, probably somewhere in a video. And it makes the NFL look good. Why would you make that public that you fined the player? Why didn't you say this? That you fined the player a disclosed number. Why does that have to be public? Do you see where the league is playing this propaganda and walking down that fine line of wanting public support on one side of the aisle, and yet on the other side of the aisle, they want to make sure that they stay within the same fabric of what the owners' political agendas are? You got to remember, 95% of the NFL owners are conservative Republicans. And they're appeasing the people when they do this stuff. Why in the world would you put out that the Packers were fined $300,000, because that's what they were fined, and Aaron Rodgers was fined $14,625? It's a joke. I think it's funny, actually. Some of you hate that. I don't think you have any right to be in the guy's business, personally. I don't know why you get so fired up over it. You know, I see sportscasters and broadcasters so fired up over this. Howard Stern, by the way, you know, Howard Stern going after Aaron Rodgers, it's not about Howard Stern even knowing who Aaron Rodgers is. You know, most of the people that are on USA Radio Network, you guys are politically driven people, right? I would say half the people that are listening to me right now are probably going like this. Oh, that Aaron Rodgers guy, he's the quarterback for the, what is it? The Packers. Is that right? The Green Bay team. Yes. I would say half of the audience are probably doing that. You think Howard Stern really knows who Aaron Rodgers is? He's not even a football fan. He's not a sports fan. But as soon as Aaron Rodgers said that he was friends with Joe Rogan, that perked up Howard Stern's ears. Because you know why? Joe Rogan has taken the baton from, not him, from Rush. The most popular broadcaster in America today is Joe Rogan. His salary, and I know Howard makes $100 million. So does Joe. All of his entities together, so does Joe. He's younger. He's got almost the same kind of platform that Howard does. He can say and do whatever he wants. It's his show. Spotify is paying him what did they give him, $100 million? Howard sees that. You know what also Howard sees? His audience. Howard doesn't care what Joe Rogan makes. Howard cares on how many people he's connecting with. He connects with tens of millions of people, doesn't he? That's why CNN goes after him. That's why Howard's now after him. Howard's not after Aaron Rodgers. He's, like everyone else, using the non-vaccination story for an agenda. Howard's show is unlistenable compared to what it once was. It was amazing. I don't know if you guys remember. You probably don't. I'm older than you. There was a story once. You guys ever hear the guy Bernhard Goetz? This guy was going around shooting people on the subway. He got him on his show and interviewed him. I'm sitting there going, holy, you know what? There was a plane crash in D.C., something like the 3rd Street Bridge or something. Howard called the reservation desk at Air Florida. That's the plane that crashed. And was trying to make a reservation. Then he started ripping into the person making reservations about the plane crash. You're sitting there listening to this. I didn't say it was funny. I said you couldn't believe what you were hearing. That's how that guy made his career. You think those are funny things? People died on that Air Florida. People were shot and killed by Bernhard Goetz. You think that's funny? Today, of course you don't. Then people were like, oh my God, that's what Stern's show was. He was battling Don Imus. Now, this guy's a snowflake. And he's trying to portray that he's been this guy this whole career. It's never been further from the truth. But you know what Howard does? He knows how to sell himself. And he's the king of media. He knows what he's doing at all times. You think he really cares about Aaron Rodgers, whether or not he gets thrown out of the league? Absolutely not. Howard Stern's more concerned about the audience that he reaches because you know what Joe Rogan will do? Joe Rogan knows the audience that Howard has. And what those guys will do, they'll start bringing up the names. That's all Howard wants you to do is bring up his name to keep him relevant on Joe Rogan's show because Joe Rogan talks to a younger group of people in the demographic compared to what Howard does. Howard's got the old people like, people who used to listen to him who are like 70 years old, used to listen to him when he was in New York. He needs a younger demo. His demos are not very good in the young demo anymore. But he's the only thing Sirius has outside of programming with sports. They have nothing else. He carried that thing to being what it is, and he's been rewarded for it. But he doesn't care about Aaron Rodgers. I heard him make that comment. He should be thrown out of the league. Thrown out of the league? The league doesn't even think that. They fined him $14,000. You think if the league thought this was important, don't you think that fine would be a little more? There'd be suspensions. There'd be loss of pay. The league doesn't even think it. Yeah, but the league is going to tell you completely everything different. I was going to talk to you a couple segments ago about a particular NFL team that's snow jobbing their fans. I'm going to explain to you here in a minute why the league does the same thing. And follow me. This is a business plan that the NFL has and how they conduct themselves. They're going to tell people what they want to hear, but they're going to do what they want to do. As I said before, they were all on the social justice stuff when Drew Brees went out and went after Colin Kaepernick. Well, nobody ever offered Kaepernick a job or not even a workout. No one offered him a workout. You would think putting a guy like that on one of your teams would have been maybe an olive branch, but that never happened. No owner wanted to go through that BS. Isn't it funny? The two guys that knelt and didn't make any noise are no longer in the league. Tim Tebow and Colin Kaepernick. Think of that for a minute. Two guys that made really silent gestures are no longer in the league because of their political stances or religious stances when it comes to Tebow. League doesn't want any of that. To them, that's noise that could infringe on their money or their advertisers or their ability to make money. Colin Kaepernick and Tim Tebow are not in the NFL because you know why? They damage the ability for them to maximize every dollar that they can. They don't want to lean one way publicly, but behind the scenes, they lead conservatively. They always have, and they always will until you get more minority owners. Nobody questions the fact that the NFL has the worst hiring practices for minorities when it comes to assistant coaches. College football. There's 135 college football Division I programs. Do you know how many black coaches there are? 11. 11. I don't hear this woke media going after that. That's a problem. Whether or not a guy's vaccinated or not is so far removed from things you really should be harping on when it comes to sports. Your hiring practices for minorities is atrocious at both levels. Getting a black coach, watch this, getting a black coach at LSU or one of those programs like Southern Cal, really, good luck. Good luck. Okay, right, sure. That's not maximizing their dollars. They'll tell you what they want you to hear. It's all it is. It's crazy when you hear, and let me show you how this translates into how they run teams. So the Philadelphia Eagles, I cover this team pretty much now extensively on my stream show. I do a show in Philadelphia based there. It's a national show. But people keep wondering what happened to this team that won the Super Bowl in 2017. And how can it be 3-6 today? They ended up getting rid of Carson Wentz in the offseason. He's now in Indianapolis. By the way, not playing all that bad. He has horrific moments. And they fired their Super Bowl winning coach. I would say under Doug Peterson that the Eagles, including the Andy Reid era, I'd say it's probably the most successful era in Eagles football during the Super Bowl era. And they fired him 4 years removed from winning that game. I don't know, it's something like 1,590 days since they lifted the Lombardi trophy. And now they're 3-6. Well, how did that happen? Simple. And I was looking at it from 30,000 feet. This goes into how the league, you think everybody here, I think you have to understand something in the premise here. Do you think every owner in the NFL wants to win a Super Bowl? There's 32 owners. Do you think they all are striving to be a championship team? Or do you think some of these owners want to collect their $300 million check every January? That's what they get off of TV alone. You understand every owner, no matter if you're the Dallas Cowboys or the Jacksonville Jaguars, you make $300 million because of those TV deals. It's called parity in the league. It's profit sharing. That's what makes the NFL the gold standard today. I'm going to tell you how the Eagles have been BSing their fans. By the way, week 10 of the NFL will do that at the bottom of the hour. It's a pretty, you keep wondering why particular teams employ certain people, and then you realize it, and you go like this, I see it now. I'll hit on it next. You keep it here on the Sileo Show. See, let me hook you up on something. You don't have to keep slapping me on the back, kid. I know what's up. You're welcome. If it could shut your hole on your face, it would be even better. Thank God. Oh, God. Ugh. What do you make of Brian Williams leaving? Oh, God. Are you crying now? Jesus. No, okay. Really? Grab him. Oh, killer. Like it. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. It's funny how you watch businesses and how they act politically. It could be the My Pillow guy. It could be Major League Baseball. Why do companies feel that they have to be part of the political landscape? Like the NFL and vaccinations around. Why do you feel compelled to do that? You're a company that's trying to sell a product, but yet what you're doing is injuring half the market. When in today's society, going to a company to buy an item or doing something like that nowadays, it's so convenient just to go to Amazon. Okay, to get something or what have you. Or to, like Chris was saying, like getting a game or not going somewhere or whatever. And you're trying to sell things. You're trying to get people in your building. It behooves me to think that you're just thinking clearly if you're Major League Baseball when you pull the World Series out, of Atlanta, and then you put it in a stricter voting state like Colorado. It's just stay out of it, man. I think more people have respect for you. But you'll always have that small group going, hey man, how come you never make a political stance? Because I'm here for everybody. Well, that's a cop-out. Well, that's your opinion. Totally your opinion. I service Republicans, Democrats, Independents. Okay, I'm a baseball league. That's all I am. I'm an NFL football league. That's all I am, man. Okay, I open up opportunities for everybody. But you don't get that. Here's a great example. I was just showing you how they want to be part of these vaccinations, and the NFL now is here. They were on the social justice bandwagon a couple of years ago with Colin Kaepernick. And by the way, they never did anything politically to back anything Colin Kaepernick did. You know what they did? They gave Colin Kaepernick a $20 million settlement and told him to go away. They basically gave him FU money. Goodbye. Go away money. Got his little lawsuit money, $20 million to the NFL. It's like 20 cents. Goodbye. Just get out of here. That's what they did. Here's another example here. It's funny. I say NFL fans are tick up from wrestling fans. Here's why. Why do you think the Eagles are 3-6 right now? They're $21 million under the salary cap. They don't even believe in their own team. But they're out there telling you, hey, we're fighting for a Super Bowl. That's not the case. Nobody at this time, nobody is in that room where you're $21 million under the salary cap. You know what the Eagles are doing? The general manager, you know why he has a job? Because he's watching over his money. You're $21 million under the salary cap. You have 11 draft choices. Howie Roseman is not thinking of building a team. What he's thinking of doing is building a decent team and making the owner money. When they fell into that Super Bowl, and I'll say it, they fell into that 2017 Super Bowl, it was, how about this? It was a shocker. That was something that you'll never see again. The Eagles will never be in that position again. You can't run your team from the checkbook in the owner's box. Never going to win. But yet they tell their fans, get this, so they go out and hire a first-year coach with no NFL head coaching experience at all. They hire a defensive coordinator with no coordinating experience. They fire a Super Bowl coach. They send a guy like Carson Wentz to Indianapolis, and then they tell you they're trying to win. And you keep asking, why are we 3-6? If your own company doesn't believe in you, always follow the money, man. It's called BSing your fan base. All right. Week 10 of the NFL, let's hit on it. We'll do it next. Jesus Christ. Can you do it again, please? Jesus Griminy. This guy's throwing up all over me. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, okay. In my lifetime, I've never had a person tell me they're going to kick my ass. And oh, yeah, okay. My wife said that. Oh, you did you? Yeah. Folks, he mailed it to me. Ugh. Oh, I don't think there's a way that you could keep them in Oakland. And there's no way you're going to keep them in California. No city in California is going to build them a stadium, bro. Sacramento, that's a pipe dream. Yeah, Sacramento, they go, oh, Sacramento, you think is going to build a Major League Baseball park. Do you think what I would do if I were the A's? I would go to a reservation in California and try to spark up a relationship with them because they have money bags. That's what the Rays are trying to do with the Seminole Indian tribe, is have them build a stadium at near the Hard Rock. Montreal. They want a team there. They want a team there. They want a team there, or Puerto Rico, I heard. It would open up even more of the doors in Latin America down there, where a lot of the players are coming from today. You should move the Rays and the Marlins. No one goes to the games. No, we don't take on that overhead. I mean, we tried the Olympics back in 1914, but my great grandfather said that's never happening again. And the games have been ever since. Because, at first this was going to be the natural site of the Olympiad, but we decided after the 14 games that was never going to happen. So my great grandfather, Kong the Third, he basically said that wasn't ever going to happen again. So he had an edict in our bylaws: no Olympic Games. Oh yes, we passed it through too. Yes. The Senate Congress were definitely all for it. It got a yay all the way through. Unlike this reparations bill, this thing actually passed. Oh, yeah. No. Oh, absolutely, man. I'll hook you up. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. See Urban Meyer get a victory this past weekend? I hear he had lap dances for everybody in Jackson. I can't. It's not true. It's not true. Maybe true. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, hey. I wonder if he's a good tipper. Oh, man. Let me leave it alone here, okay? But here, one real quick thing here before we get into week 10 of the NFL. Do you know how important that is as an organization to get a win like that over the Bills? And get this, it was 9-6. But here, follow me here. Have you ever gone to work with somebody and he's your boss and he has no experience? And yet he's telling you that he knows the path on the yellow brick road to success. We've all been there. You're like, Jesus, Robbie, this is this guy's first gig. You have any program directors that I've had that have got their first gig and you're like, oh my God, this is such a train wreck. You can't put a guy like me with a first-year program director. It's just not going to work. But they do it anyway. So this guy will go, hey, I'm trying to learn. And then you already know he's already just trying to get your confidence because he's going to be more on the side of management. He's going to listen to them. And you're like, this is just going to be. So they tell you things. And you're in an experience situation here where you just know that the guy has no experience whatsoever. And that's kind of like what you see here when you're talking about, again, playing quarterback, being on a football team, being in any business with somebody who just doesn't really know the room. And so, again, it's these first-year coaches, they try telling you things, and you just know they're not going to work. Like the guy planting flowers in Philadelphia. It's quite classic. Let me move on here. Let me get into week 10 of the National Football League. It has been, let me give you a little break. This probably is kind of like more of the midway point of the season of the NFL here. And where these teams are, I'm going to go like this. I'm going to look at the games, but I'm also going to go like this. We're at the halfway point, and I'm going to tell you the direction of the organization, and I'm going to show you how many organizations are out there that are just poor and bad or average. There's very few elite. Staying being a champion is the most impossible thing there is. Look, I think winning a championship is tough, but I think remaining a champion is the hardest thing you could possibly do. Maintaining that excellence year in, year out, like Tom Brady is one of the hardest things to do in sports. The Thursday game is Baltimore and Miami. I'll tell you about Baltimore. I love Lamar Jackson. He's smart. By the way, will you do me a favor from now on when we talk about black quarterbacks? Will we please start with the word smart and not start with the phrase, he's very athletic? I've always found that to be a racist topic, and I've always found that to be racist out of the gate. You never say athletic about Tom Brady. You never say athletic about any other white quarterback. It's always that he's a great this or that. But we always start with he's an athletic player. Then we go from there. When you talk about Lamar Jackson, you first have to start with his smarts. I always thought that was code. The only reason he's playing is because this black quarterback is so gifted and athletic. That's how I always heard it. You don't have to say any of that. And I don't even really have to say any of this. But you know why I'm doing it? I'm pointing it out to you. Like old Mayor Pete did today about bridges. Okay? About bridges being higher and lower and such. It's funny. Those same people who are talking about those bridges and how they're talking about being segregated in black and white communities. Do you understand something? Those are the same people, the Democrats, who were passing that law back in 1914. It wasn't Republicans. It was the Democrats. Now they want to fix that problem that they created. It's crazy. Okay? So you start with his smarts. Lamar Jackson is such a gifted athlete, smart, just understands the position. He's willing to sacrifice. He loves the city of Baltimore. Here's a guy that goes out into the park and he's out on a schoolyard with all of these inner city kids who don't have a pot to piss in. You know what he's doing? He's running routes with them and he's being a wide receiver for guys. And you know what his comment was? If I can inspire anybody here in the inner city of Baltimore like I was inspired when I was back in Florida, that I will be accomplishing why I'm here and why God put me here. I love him. And I'll tell you, I wasn't a fan. I love this guy, man. I would want to play for him. Man, he's such a gifted human being. You know, and I've said this to you before. You talk about racist comments that are made against Lamar Jackson. He's got a gold tooth. He wears dreadlocks. He wears flashy clothes, but he's not a flashy person. I know that kind of kid from Florida. Hardworking, no way out. There's no back door. None of that. The only way out was to support his family this particular way. He's such a role model. I'll tell you this, of all the people that I've covered in the last 25 years, if something came out negative about Lamar Jackson, I would be disappointed. You know, I'm never disappointed about other athletes when things come out about them. I would be with him. Him and maybe Tebow. Because I really do think those guys' convictions are who they are. Huge Lamar Jackson fan. God, I love that guy. Miami, that's who they're playing. Miami's been one of the biggest train wrecks this year in the NFL. You know, I really thought that Chris Greer, the general manager, and Brian Flores, the head coach, had this thing aimed in the right way. But the mishandling of Tua Tagovailoa and the Deshaun Watson potential trade has been an absolute train wreck. They've driven that franchise this year, at least, into the toilet because you had everybody in that locker room doing this. I don't know. Is this the guy or not the guy? You made it publicly known that. The coach is saying one thing publicly that we love Tua. The owner's saying this. Do whatever you can to get Deshaun Watson on this football team. Mixed messages in the locker room. Why wouldn't the players buy into that? So you got one franchise with a gold standard type player, and you got another one who can't figure it out. Atlanta, Dallas. This will be interesting. Let me say this to you about the Atlanta Falcons. You know, they were up in that Super Bowl a few years back against the Patriots. They were up 28-0. Do you know that I think they have not recovered till this year? They're now 5-4. After a brutal start against the Eagles, Matt Ryan and that franchise owned by Arthur Blank has rallied. It's been a pretty cool thing to watch here. Do I think they're an elite team? Do I think they're a good team? I think they have talent. This kid Pitts they got from Florida, I think he's going to be a star. Matt Ryan is not the problem in Atlanta. Their problem has always been they can't get people on the ground. But they're turning the franchise around. Good for them. Then you have the Cowboys. You know what I'll say to you about the Dallas Cowboys this year's version 2021? They're a pretty boring team. That's a good thing. I don't want high drama on my team. I don't want it. It's counterproductive. I don't want any drama in my locker room. I don't want any drama around my team. I don't want any noise around it. It's wasted production. And the Cowboys have controlled that, being the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not going to look at that Denver game and go like this. That's an indictment on their season. Everybody in the NFL gets killed. Everyone gets killed. You're not immune to it. So to sit there and go, wow, man, you see what the Broncos did? They beat them up. They did beat them up. Vic Fangio did a great job, I thought, of pounding Dallas and reminding Dallas who they are defensively of a year ago. He was right to do that. Vic Fangio, the head coach of the Broncos, didn't believe that they had turned that defense around. What did he do? He attacked it. Is that a blueprint going forward against Dallas? We'll see. Because they were knocked off the ball like they were a year ago. But, of course, they have a superstar leader, Dak Prescott. Don't go by Dak's game against the Broncos and put an indictment on him. He's played great since that injury of a year ago. He has played fantastic. He's better than advertised. I like where the Cowboys are. Cowboys are one of the top 5 teams in the NFL, man. You should be proud of that because usually I'm saying that the Cowboys are one of the top 5 frauds in the NFL. They're not this year. They got a football team that is a good enough team to get to the dance. New Orleans and Tennessee. You know, I wouldn't go to sleep on New Orleans getting Deshaun Watson in the offseason. I don't believe Tyson Hill's the guy, and I don't believe Jameis Winston, who was playing decent. I just don't believe that the quarterback is in the room there with Sean Payton. I think he's going to try to attract somebody like Aaron Rodgers. I think maybe Russell Wilson. You put one of those quarterbacks in New Orleans with Sean Payton, I think the best play-calling NFL head coach, they're going to go on another 10-year, 12-year run, in my opinion, like they did with Drew Brees. New Orleans is a fantastic organization. The Benson family and Mickey Loomis, the general manager, have done a great job there. The best coach in the National Football League is guess where? Where do you think the best coach in the NFL is? Or how about this? Maybe the most underrated head coach in the NFL. Where do you think he is? He's with the Tennessee Titans. Mike Vrabel is such an underrated coach. Do you know today, if the playoffs were to start, the Tennessee Titans would have the bye. 7 teams make the postseason. Only 1 team gets a bye. Tennessee's your number 1 team, and they lost Derrick Henry last week. They had less than 200 yards, and they still pulled off a win. That's coaching, friends. He's turned the career around of Ryan Tannehill. It was one of the best reclamation projects of all time. Do I think they're going to bounce back a little bit and back towards the pack in their conference and in their division? I do, because of the loss of Derrick Henry. But that's a well-coached team. That's another one of those structured teams that when you're in that building, you know they're there to win. Man, do I like them. How about Jacksonville, man? They get a win against the Bills. Little blind faith, believing the players. That was a big win for guess who? That was a big win for the coaching staff. Not so much the players. 90% of those players won't be on the team next year. Trevor Lawrence is playing better. I like Jacksonville. The Colts, another one of my teams. The Colts are probably going to win that game, which is going to make Carson Wentz 5-5 on the season. Talk about a turnaround. He's playing so great. But you know the problem with Carson Wentz? He could play great for about 250 plays. Then the next 5 plays are the worst plays you've ever seen in your life. And all the equity he builds up with the fans and with the media goes completely away because how about this? I know he's played well the last 4 games, but do you know what's still entrenched in my mind? That left-handed pass and that pick 6 in that Rams game, and then the other interception he threw. I can't get it out of my mind. But yet he's on pace for 110 quarterback rating and 4,600 yards passing. I don't know, man. His bad is bad. His good is good, but not – it can't cover some of those poor plays. But I like the Colts, and I like Frank Reich, as you know. How about Baker Mayfield last week getting a win over the Cincinnati Bengals? You know, they lose Odell Beckham. Cleveland Browns step up and have a great game. They'll run their record to 5-4. They're a very talented team. I just don't think they know who they are yet. They got a lot of – you know, it's one thing to have talent. It's another thing to know your identity and what you are, how about this? What you're capable of doing and what you're not capable of doing. You've got to know your limitations. You've got to know your strengths. You got to know what you have to stay in the room. That's what makes Brady so great. You don't see Brady chucking the ball down the field. Brady stays patient. The Cleveland Browns have to get patient. It's okay to punt. Speaking of that, how about the New England Patriots? The way that they have bounced back. They're now 5-4 with a rookie quarterback. And the best quarterback in the draft this year playing statistically is Mac Jones. It's quite a statement for Belichick. You know, people won't say this because they don't really like Bill Belichick. But if Bill Belichick gets this team to the postseason with a winning record, Bill Belichick should be coach of the year. Should be NFL coach of the year. That's a hell of a job, man. Another great organization. Buffalo, they take it in the shorts against the Jags. But like I said, everybody gets killed. There's massive upsets all the time in the NFL. Sometimes matchups. Sometimes you're reading your put. It's just what it is. But I really like that organization. I so do. It's just one of those places that now Sean McDermott has changed the culture around. All right. Hey, listen, if you're in Phoenix and you're in the Valley, okay, do me a favor. Head to Hooters. Check out the $11 o'clock lunch specials, starting at just $8. Wash it down with ice cold Bud Light Drafts for only $3. This place where you can go watch your UFC, draft parties, tremendous giveaways, everything that they have there. The Valley, who's in the Phoenix area, these guys are my friends. Make sure Big Sills, or you tell them Big Sills sent you there. We'll continue week 10 of the National Football League. We'll do it next. You keep it right here on the Dan Sileo Show. No, we'll never be, ever again, as long as we live. I want you to think about that for the rest of the night now. Yeah, you will. So what's your point? It's just a random comment? Okay. Ugh. What are you talking about? Oh, they're talking about the grids are going to be tested. They said it'd be a pretty tough winter. They're calling my neck of the woods Stills. Stills, jerk. Stills. Ugh. Did Bryce Harper win the MVP award? Yep. Oh, no, he won the Hank Aaron Award. None. The Golden Coconut. Actually, it was something that was cast by the Incas and passed over to us once we released them from slavery here on Kong Island. Well, you know, it's been done before. Thank you. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. Just a great time right now in our country for sports. Man. What would you rather be covering right now, politics or sports? Here. You might make, yeah, Chris just laughed in my ear. Yeah, huh? No brainer. I'm a big political fan, though. As you can tell, I talk it. I do. It's totally opinion, you know. I probably know 10% of what I need to know. But I think I'm like every other. I represent Americans. How many Americans do you think? Joe Biden's actually right in a way. You think, you have any idea of how products get anywhere and this and that? You see, but I have a problem with that comment, though, from Joe. We sent you to Washington for you not to send those questions back to us. We sent you to Washington to take care of those, not to ask us questions about what and why there's no food on the shelves. I kind of was offended by that when he did that. Joe, I know that I don't know. Why would you turn that back on me and insult me? I sent you to Washington to fix those things. It's insulting people. That's insulting. You think you really know anything about the infrastructure bill? No. But I'm putting my blind faith into you that you do. That's why we sent you there, I thought. Now you know why players don't believe in coaches. Because Americans don't believe in politicians. But you do know when you find one, don't you? When you find a coach, you find an owner, you buy in, you're like, this guy's really great. Then you start to see the successes. Then you start buying in. Then you're like, wow, we're having successes. Like I told you with Urban Meyer winning that game against the Bills. That was a big win for them. It was a big win for the coaching staff. Because the players that were in there were going, yeah, that guy hired Tebow, man. You kidding me? Why would you put a guy like Tim Tebow on my roster? He hasn't played 10 years. He sucks. What's the guy doing out dancing? He's at we haven't won a game yet. They hadn't won a game at the time. He's getting lap dances in Ohio. What am I doing here? He's acting unprofessional completely, and I'm acting professional, and he's telling me to do something, but he's not doing as he says. You lose your faith in that. But then when you get a win, that all gets erased. Wow, maybe he does know what he's talking about. See how easy that changes? Change with a win. Simple as that. We were talking a little bit about the week 10 of the NFL. I was not telling you who's going to win or matchups or anything. I was just telling you about some of the teams and where they are right now. How about Pittsburgh back to 5-4? Mike Tomlin never had a losing season in his 15 years as a head coach at Pittsburgh. What a great coach. What a phenomenal organization. Again, what's in Pittsburgh that's not in a lot of places? You know what it is? Patience. Not going to fire a coach. They're not going to dump a player. They're not going to do any of that thing because they have patience. They're going to give you may fall on your face, but you know what they're going to do? They're going to give you every opportunity, and they're going to do it with sincerity. They want you to succeed. It costs them more money going out in the open market to try to fill that gap with a free agent than it is to draft a guy and then reinvest in the work that you put into somebody. I always believe in any company, you know the strong companies are in this country, the ones that hire from within. Those are the best companies. Those are the companies you want to work for. The ones that elevate from within. I really love that. It's one of my favorite things that companies do. Man, you want to invest in people. Look at the Buccaneers where they are again. There they are, top 5 team. Tom Brady again, right in the mix. Looking at what is it now? Okay, number 8. Holy cow. Jesus Christ. This guy's going for, I've lost count. What a great organization. Fantastic. Just a fantastic organization. Then you got organizations like the Raiders right now. Complete chaos. Complete chaos. Has to be in the years that the Raiders have been a member of the NFL, it has to be the worst public relations year, even with their moving. It has to be one of the worst public relation years in the history of the Las Vegas Raiders. That's saying a lot. Al Davis would be spinning in his grave right now if he saw what has happened to his franchise. Incredible. Some NBA news. So many things going on in the world of sports. We'll reset. You keep it right here on the Dan Sileo Show.